Hurricane Sandy completely devastated this tiny borough of 1,400 people. In the immediate aftermath of the storm, we saw 100% of the businesses in our business district were destroyed. All 1,400 residents were displaced from their homes temporarily. And now, about a year later from the storm, we're still faced with 40% of our residents who are still not able to come home because of the extent of damage to their houses.
Well, I think when we came over the bridge that morning, very early in that morning, I think the priority was really to get a one lane of road open with the chief for security. He wanted to establish a security. You know, he was worried about looting and people coming in from every which direction. We did get one lane open. We had coordinated efforts with local contractors because the DOT did help us, but not until 4 days later. So we did call a lot of local contractors to get that one lane open with 6 feet of sand, which did take a few days just to do that.
We had a lot of work to do before we could get to the relief effort, because first we had to assess the level of damage. So we brought in assessment teams, our borough engineer, T&M, Jackie Floor, as well as our department heads did a systematic review of the town top to bottom to assess the risks to safety. In particular, we had a natural gas leak that had to be contained before anything else could happen. We ultimately had to keep the borough closed for 10 days, preventing the residents from returning in order to get the place safe enough to repopulate a little bit.
After a disaster, the biggest effort is really trying to deal with the large amount of debris in the town. Because the streets, it wasn't just sand, it was mixed with buildings, cars, boats, cabanas, anything you could imagine. There was a lot of manpower that went into it. In addition to just all the contractors that were involved, there was the Navy was here, National Guard, all the police, the fire, the engineers that were involved. We had our structural engineers assessing all the public buildings, figuring out fall zones for the houses that were damaged. We had to assess all of the bulkheads, the seawall. But before people could get in, the primary objective was inspecting all of the homes before anyone could enter and looking at the fall zones.
We're still having trouble trying to get our equipment back to shape, our firehouse repaired. I finally got our first check from the insurance company last week to start replacing equipment, so it's been really slow.
Little by little, people are moving back. This October 29th, of course, is our first anniversary of Sandy, so we are going to come together and we're going to have a potluck dinner so that we can be thankful together and move on.
I think Sea Bright as a community has really come together. The people dealt with a lot. A lot of people lost more than just their business. They lost their home as well. People have been patient. The town is coming back stronger and we're coming back more sustainable. And the people are excited about the changes and they're ready.